Welcome back to Soda City Live. June is Alzheimer's and Brain Awareness Month. Supporting someone living with Alzheimer's may be challenging at times, but studies show that incorporating person-centered practices into daily care can help to reduce those challenges. Joining me today with tips and more about person-centered care is Synergy Home Care gerontologist Dr. Macy Smith. So glad to have you back with us here on the show.
So nice to be here always. Thank you, Sierra.
It's such a pleasure. So let's jump right into it. What is person-centered care?
So it's just what it says, focusing on the person, allowing the person to lead and guide their day-to-day in their care. So often when people provide care to someone living with Alzheimer's disease, they tend to focus on the disease and how the disease affects the person's brain and their cognitive ability. But when we do that, we lose sight of the person and who they are, what they love, what they don't like, and what's important to them. And so when we incorporate person-centered practices, we're putting the person first.
That's so beautiful because, like you said, I don't think we think about it. It's almost like, and even as a caregiver, you think more about the task and what a person can't do than who they are. And so it is important. And I didn't realize that you could focus the care around that individual.
Yeah, you have to in order for it to be respectful, in order to ensure that they maintain their dignity for as long as feasibly possible. And you said it many times when you're a caregiver, you're task oriented. You're focused on completing a task while you're not even paying that person any attention. They turn into an object as opposed to someone who's important to you.
And you know what? I think that might also be a part of the reason why people get so burnt out, because you're no longer looking at this person as a person, but like you said, a task. And so it's just a matter of changing that perception. But you also have some tips that you wanted to share with us today, some ways, some things that can help the caregiver help and center that that person-centered care.
Right, and I love that because it's to help not only improve the quality of the caregiver's life, but the person who's living with dementia. You definitely want to focus on the person and not the disease. The person is still there. You're treating the heart and the soul of the person. You're not giving life to the disease. And then you want to celebrate their abilities and their accomplishments. And when I say that, I mean if they're putting their shoes on, I don't care if they're on the wrong foot, they did it. So celebrate that. Get to know the person. Get to know the person now. You're going to get to know them again and again and again, because as the disease progresses, they're going to take on different moments of their life. And then get to know who they were prior to the disease process. Sierra, if they were a nurse, then they love charting, because nurses chart all the time. They love taking care of people, touching on people. Make that available to them because it makes them feel important. And then you want to incorporate all of those personal characteristics into how you provide care, how you structure their environment. So again, if they were, a nurse, you want to be sure that they have somebody they can touch on and feel on, and it makes them feel important. And we can easily do that, and you will be amazed as to how that will change the trajectory of their day, because it's not about the years, it's about the days, the hours, and the moments.
That's so beautiful. I love that. And for a person that might need a little bit more help, especially if they are the primary caregiver, where can they go to get more information?
They can head over to Synergy Home Care/Memory-Care. There are a host of tips, realistic tips, relatable tips, and translational tips that they can incorporate in their life today.
I love that. Well, Dr. Macy, thank you so much for joining us, sharing these life-changing tips, because I'm sure someone out there, even if it's not them themselves, they know someone that might be a caregiver, they can share these details. And we'll be sure to have all these tips along with those resources, a link to the resources on our website, sodacitylive.com. Let's pop up. I was just going to say, you guys are on it to put those tips up again. So we want to make sure, again, we are focusing on the person and not the disease. Celebrate their abilities, get to know that person, and incorporating personal qualities into their care. Dr. Macy, you are phenomenal. Thank you so much.
And that is, my dear, person-centered care.
Awesome.